And they came over the sea into the country of Gadarenes. And after that he was gone out of the boat, anon, a man in an unclean spirit ran out of the burials to him, which man had an house and burials, and neither with chains, now might any man bind him. For oft times he was bound in stocks and chains, and he had broken the chains, and had broken the stocks to small gobbets, and no man might make him tame. And evermore night and day in burials and in hills he was crying and beating himself with stones. And he saw Jesus afar, and ran and worshipped him. And he cried with great voice, and said, What to me and to thee, thou Jesus, the Son of the highest God? I conjure thee by God, that thou torment me not. And Jesus said to him, Thou unclean spirit, go out from the man. And Jesus asked him, What is thy name? And he saith to him, A legion is my name, for we be many. And he prayed Jesus much, that he should not put them out of the country. And there was there about the hill a great flock of swine, pasturing. And the spirits prayed Jesus, and said, Send us into the swine, that we enter into them. And anon Jesus granted to them. And the unclean spirits went out, and entered into the swine, and with a great rush the flock was cast headlong into the sea, 2,000, and they were drenched or drowned in the sea. And they kept them fled and told into the city, and they that kept them fled and told into the city and into the fields, and they went out to see what was done. And they came to Jesus, and saw him that had been travailed of the fiend, sitting clothed and of whole mind, and they dreaded. And they saw how it was done to him that had a fiend, and of the swine told to them. And they began to pray him that he should go away from their coast. And when he went up into a boat, he that was travailed of the devil began to pray him that he should be with him. But Jesus received him not, but said to him, Go thou into thine house to thine, and tell to them how great things the Lord hath done to thee, and had mercy of thee. And he went forth and began to preach in Decapolis how great things Jesus had done to him, and all men wondered. And when Jesus had gone up into the boat again, and over the sea, much people came together to him, and was about the sea. And one of the princes of synagogues, by name Jairus, came and saw him, and he fell down at his feet, and prayed him much, and said, My daughter is nigh dead. Come thou, put thine hand on her, that she be safe and live. And he went forth with him, and much people pursued him, and thrust either oppressed him. And a woman that had been in the bloody flux 12 years, and had received many things of full many leeches, and had spended all her good, and was nothing amended, but was rather the worse. When she had heard of Jesus, she came among the people behind, and touched his cloth. For she said, that if I touch, yea, his cloth, I shall be safe. And anon the well of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the sickness. And anon Jesus knew in himself the virtue that was gone out of him. And he turned to the people and said, Who touched my clothes? And his disciples said to him, Thou seest the people thrusting thee, and sayest, Who toucheth me? And Jesus looked about to see her that had done this thing. And the woman dreaded and quaked, writing that if it was done in her, and came, and fell down before him, and said to him all the truth. And Jesus said to her, Daughter, thy faith hath made thee safe. Go in peace, and be thou whole of thy sickness. Yet while he spake, messengers came to the prince of the synagogue, and said, Thy daughter is dead. What travailest thou the master further? But when the word was heard that was said, Jesus said to the prince of the synagogue, Do not thou dread, only believe thou. And he took no man to pursue him, but Peter and James and John, the brother of James. And they came into the house of the prince of the synagogue, and he saw noise and men weeping and wailing much. And he went in and said to them, What be ye troubled, and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. And they scorned him. But when all were put out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and they entered where the damsel lay. And he held the hand of the damsel, and said to her, Talitha cumi, that is to say, Damsel, I say to thee, arise. And anon the damsel arose, and walked, and she was of 12 years. And they were abashed with a great astonishing. And he commanded to them greatly, that no man should know it. And he commanded to give her meat.